To talk about you, me, influence ourselves. We have to look at ourselves at why we go broke and why we fail. Social media is all about flexibility. Trends change. You have to move. You have to adapt. And if you don't adapt, your channel will die. Did you ever wonder why your favorite YouTubers stopped making videos? Your favorite TikTokers stopped doing their dancing stuff? Well, a lot of people say, oh, it's because they lost the passion or they wanted to find something else. No, most likely why they stopped making it because they weren't making any money, or they weren't making enough money to justify making the content. And today we're going to talk about are 10 ways that influencers are making themselves go broke when they don't have to, all right? And I think the first thing we need to talk about as an influencer, I've been doing this for almost 20 years now of YouTube videos, Instagram, Facebook, all these kind of things. I will tell you this one true fact. Ego is expensive. If you let your ego get in the way of making your content, you let your ego kind of take over, it's going to hurt you financially. Because what you might see is what we call lifestyle creep. Because what happens is you start making a little money on YouTube or Instagram, like, oh, well, this is something I'm going to have. I'm going to start buying nicer things. I'm going to have nicer clothes. I'm going to stay in nicer hotels. I'm going to more expensive destinations. I'm going to, you start having these things, you start spending more and more and more. But the problem is you're not using financial discipline. You're spending money like it's going out of style. When you have to realize is sometimes that money doesn't last forever, because the second mistake people make is not realizing that income is inconsistent when you're an influencer. Yes, some months you have videos that really hit and you're making tens of thousands of dollars. And then you have months where literally nothing happens and you're making $200. And the thing is, that lifestyle creep, that kind of thing comes in and you start to base your life off making an extra $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month. When in reality, yes, it's $20,000 one month, $300 another month, and you need to kind of balance those things out. And it's hard to plan around it. That's why if you're looking at that lifestyle creep or the kind of changes in income kind of stuff, it's best to invest in your own business, getting yourself working better. That's why when incomes start coming in, you start to be a success. Instead of being an ego like, yes, I deserve to have all these nicer things, exercise financial discipline. Delay upgrading your lifestyle for a little while, okay? If you look at those people on like HGTV and all those other TV shows, you'll notice they don't get the fancy stuff to like 3 or 4 years into the TV run, just in case. And you need to think about the same thing. Maintain that current lifestyle. So if you're making the extra money, great, bank it, save it, spend it on your business, but don't spend it on ego projects. Because it's best to invest in your business first than it is your image, okay? And if you're looking at inconsistent income, I will tell you that difference in what you're getting from ad revenue when it comes through like YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, these things can change at any moment. I mean, what happens if you get kicked off Instagram? What happens if you get kicked off YouTube? All of a sudden, if that's your only revenue stream, you're out of luck. And so that's really important why influencers really need to have multiple revenue streams. Yes, have your YouTube, have your Facebook, have your Instagram, but also have your affiliate marketing, sell your digital projects, have your courses, these kind of things out there to help diversify it so you can have much more of a stable income stream. So if people stop watching your videos, hey, maybe you still have people taking your courses or buying you're like, we have travel guides on our travel channel, right? So maybe that can keep things going. Because another mistake influencers make when they're doing this is they don't realize that they don't have a business model. Look, creating content is not a business model. Creating content is creating content. And if you're only thinking about creating content, all you are is following things. My buddy Sam gave me this great analogy. He saw these TikTokers and Instagrammers that are literally going from project to project to project, chasing the little Reese's pieces like an ET, like chase the Reese's pieces to here and then over here. That's not a business model. That is just surviving. And eventually you hit what's called burnout. And burnout is another way that will, destroy you, make you go broke. And the thing is, a lot of these social media platforms will tell you, we care about your mental health creators. But the thing is, once you stop making content, your videos aren't out there anymore. The money starts going down, 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 down. And that can be very tough. And so what I do to help avoid burnout, there's a couple things. One, I do what's called batch content creation. So I'll make a bunch of videos in one location when I go. So I'm here in Panama for 10 days. So I'm making a bunch of videos on Panama, Central America, Latin America, some of my business videos as well. So I have a lot of content. So later in the year, if I'm getting burned out, if I need to take a break, I have enough content kind of like in the can that I can make stuff then. So I have things kind of backed up. Actually, right now I have over 150 videos backed up in terms of what I can go. So I can literally take a year off of making content and I still have enough content to fill out my twice a week posts on Walter's World, my twice a week posts on Walter's World Eats, and my twice a week posts here on Professor Walters. So things you can do that way. Another thing you want to do is what we call make evergreen content. This is content that isn't just for a specific event, but will last evergreen. It'll always be green, always new. So when I do the don'ts of visiting Panama, I know people will be watching that for the next 10 years. Whereas if I just made content on what to do in Panama in summer 2027, well, people only in summer of 2027 will watch that video. Otherwise, they won't think it's important and it'll die off. So think about that. And that needs to go into your business plan, because not having that business plan and not working content creation like it's a business will get you to fail. Because if you're just chasing all those little Reese's Pieces, you got a problem, okay? So have a business plan. Think about what you can sell, what you can create, what value you can add to people that's gonna help you grow as a business, not just, I gotta make more video. And also when you have your business plan, it helps you avoid this next mistake that they make. And that is over leveraging things. Basically going into too much credit card debt to be an influencer. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. This kind of links back to that ego is expensive. You'll have people connect with you. Once you start getting some followers, people reach out to you. Hey, I want to be your PR agent. Hey, we'll make your videos for you. Hey, we'll do this. Some of them can help. You know, having editors helps you save time. It can be worth the investment. Other ones, it might not be. And like I know for myself, we had a PR agency and they did a great job of getting us PR. We got to be in New York Times. We got to be in Wall Street Journal and, you know, the Washington Post. And we got all of these things and TV spots. But when I look at the bottom line, it actually did not increase our business. It did not grow our business. See, they're honking because they're mad because they're PR people, but it didn't grow our business at all. Like literally nothing. We have some more articles, but didn't get more people buying our products, didn't get people, you know, going to our videos. So you have to make sure you're not leveraging for things that make you feel good. You want to make sure when you're doing things, you're investing stuff that's going to pay off in your business. So don't blow your budget and spend everything just to make yourself look good. If you're going to spend that money, make sure you're doing things that are going to help you grow versus things that make you look important, because that'll make a big difference. Also, credit cards have to be paid eventually, people. And another thing I think is the financial literacy is what some influencers don't have. Like I will see people that will literally like, I'll just get a new credit card to get the points to pay off this. And they keep doing this circle of credit card debt. But here's the thing. Eventually credit cards have to be paid. And eventually you're going to have to pay those things off. And that's kind of a bad thing. And if you've got 30 credit cards because you're paying all these off, it's not going to go look for a bank when you eventually want to get a house or something. So you got to be aware of that. But also the financial literacy of like, hey, you realize I'm an influencer. I pay taxes. Yes, I hire a CPA to help me do my taxes every single year. So we have that. Helps me do my estimated taxes so I can send that check up every 3 months. The government gets my government, U.S. government gets checked. My state gets their check for taxes. And a lot of influencers don't realize that. They think, oh, I'll just make money on there and it's no big deal. I don't have to tax it. It's the internet. Oh, yes, it is. You make money. Your government wants that part. Like they want their fair share, right? So if you don't have the business plan, you don't have the business acumen, and you don't have that financial literacy, that can cause problems too, because you can be successful, but I owe millions of dollars. No, I don't. But you want to be careful with that. Think of some of the famous singers out there that have big tax problems. Oh, I had to pay taxes on that? Yeah, you got to have the financial literacy when you're here, because otherwise, you know, getting that extra credit card that has a 35% interest rate because they give you the first 2 months free might not be best if you can't pay it off in the first 2 months. Now, another thing that will really nail you as a content creator, which can really be a ticket to failure, is if you don't own your own audience. What does that mean? If you're getting all your revenue just from YouTube AdSense or Instagram's bonus program or TikTok's creator fund, what happens if they go away? You lose all your income. You know, I talked about that in the fluctuations. But the thing is YouTube is my audience. You're watching this on YouTube right now. YouTube owns you. If you watch this on a Facebook channel, Facebook owns this. You're watching on Instagram, Instagram owns this kind of stuff. Well, they're all Meta and Facebook. They're all the same, Instagram. But you think is, I don't own that. Okay, so what you want to do is, hey, own your audience. How do you do that? Well, go onto multiple platforms, but also have things you own. Have an email list, have a newsletter you can connect with your people, right? Send those out. Have your own website where you post your content as well. So something you can create. So if they change the rules and regulations, you can, maybe they turn off Instagram, or like I was on TikTok, then all of a sudden they weren't paying us on TikTok anymore because the videos weren't long enough. And I'm like, oh, well, luckily I had other revenue streams out there, because that's really kind of important. So multiple revenue streams, but also revenue streams you can control, okay? Because if you don't, one of those things go away, or let's say your YouTube channel gets banned, or your ex decides to, you know, launch a social media campaign against you, all of a sudden YouTube turns you off for 6 months. you got a problem. Facebook turns you off for a bit, that revenue's gone. So you want to have stuff that you can control. Now, just a general mistake I think some creators make is basically they spend too much money on their production costs. They spend too much money. They get a super, super nice camera. They get super nice microphones. They go to the best locations, the most expensive locations, the most expensive hotels. And the thing is, do you really need to do that? That's one of the things for me is like my videos. I did a video with Yellow Productions talking about what do I use? Literally, the camera I'm using right, Sony Alpha 700, 7000. Literally, it's a few $100 camera. I have that. And then I use my phone that I already have. That's it. I don't have a $6,000 phone. My editing equipment, I have like the $159 version of an editing equipment, right? You want to be careful because all of a sudden you're spending the super nice, super high-end editing software programming. Are you using all the bells and whistles? Do you need to spend $1,000 on that? No. Maybe you're okay with, you got a MacBook? Your iMovie? Dude, that stuff's awesome. I don't even use MacBooks, but I know iMovie makes great movies, right? So you could use those things and not overspend when you don't have to. That's why sometimes what you want to do is you want to reach out to different things. Go on to Fiverr, Upwork, maybe go through them to have someone make your thumbnails, have someone do your editing, because that could be a cheaper way to do it than you doing your own time, but also having somebody in your own country doing it because they might be more expensive. So you want to kind of find better ways to spend your money on your production costs versus just getting the most expensive stuff out there. Because this is YouTube, people. This is TikTok. We're not Disney. We're not Warner Brothers. We don't have to be perfect in every way. We don't have to be movie stars. We just have to be us. So be us with your simple camera and your simple stuff and save yourself thousands of dollars that could put yourself in debt. Oh, and if you are an influencer, you're starting getting something, probably you'll notice in your DMs on Instagram or on Facebook, or maybe you're getting emails that are basically like people saying, hey, we could get you followers. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, fake flexing is expensive and not worth it. If you're buying likes, you're buying views, you're buying followers, that's against the term of service on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And so you get thrown on if you do that. Like, worst case scenario, it's gone. It's gone. And then your social security number, your tax number can no longer work with those companies. Do you want that to happen? No. So don't do the fake flexing. Let it be organic. Because honestly, those fake followers, they're not watching. All of a sudden, YouTube sees, all those followers aren't watching that video anymore. So that channel must not be very good. And so therefore, they show it to even less people out there. Because honestly, you want to build a real community, a real authentic community, and bring real value to them. Those are the ones going to help you be rich in the long term. And then I think there's an important thing to mention in terms of why they go broke. And this is they don't pivot. They don't have a plan to pivot. They don't have a plan to change. Look, YouTube is very different. I started on YouTube, I think, in 2007. Walter's World, I started on 2009. Professor Walters, I think I started in 2019. And then there's the mistake of not having a pivot plan. Are you ready to change? Are you flexible? Because one thing we've all learned with a creator economy, you have to be flexible. You have to be open to change, because what works on YouTube today won't necessarily work on YouTube 10 years from now or 5 years from now, or what worked in YouTube 5 years ago doesn't necessarily work today. Some things may hold true, but you have to realize is you have to change as a creator. You have to pivot what you do. And then we need to talk about you, me, influence ourselves. We have to look at ourselves at why we go broke and why we fail. And a lot of times is that we're not flexible. What you have to realize is social media is all about flexibility. Trends change. You have to move. You have to adapt. And if you don't adapt, your channel will die. I mean, think about it. If you go watch YouTube videos from 10 years ago, they're YouTube videos from 10 years ago. If you look at YouTube videos from 5 years ago, you'll notice those are videos from 5 years ago. The style of editing, how people use YouTube, what they're doing it for, and Instagram and TikTok, it changes, and you have to adjust to it. Because if you're still just doing shuffle videos on TikTok, you're probably not doing so well now, because shuffling was, 10 years ago now, right? So you want to think about that. And that's why I think not being able to pivot or not having a plan to pivot and not being flexible when you're creating content is a guaranteed way to go broke, because you have to change. My travel channel, we were doing great before the pandemic. Almost 5 million views a month on YouTube. We were right there. And then the pandemic came, boom, we went down to under 1 million views, right? And we're working our way back. We're looking at 3 million views a month kind of stuff. But what is it? Well, I can't get what was before pandemic, because how people traveled was different, how they did things. So I need to adjust. Back in the day, I could make inspirational travel videos and put them on YouTube and people watch there. Well, people don't watch YouTube for travel inspiration anymore. They watch TikTok, they watch Instagram, they watch those vertical videos to get inspired where to go. Then they go to YouTube to watch educational travel videos like Walter's World, right? And so I know I got to change. I got to be flexible. So I have to have Instagram and TikTok to get people to be like inspired to travel, and then get them to come over to the YouTube videos, get them to come over to our website to do that. These are 10 ways that I've seen, and you may have seen, influencers go broke while they're trying to be successful. Please don't make the mistake. I'm trying to help you out. What are things you've seen people do that actually ruin their social media career or ruin their social media channel? Let us know in the comments below, because we don't want anyone to go broke. We want everyone to be successful. So please go make those videos, go make those posts, go be that influencer, and don't feel bad about doing it, because you're helping other people do better. And I'll say bye from here in Panama City. And obviously with the traffic here in Panama City as well. Bye.